But
Yo, I used to watch religious. My brother was a diehard Packers fan. My
yeah,
younger brother,
yeah,
and he's been to Lambeau. I don't know, been to 3 games or something.
yeah.
I think my dad's been out there. We actually went man, when was it? It was 2000 and I want to say 7 or 8. When
Hey everybody, welcome back. Blacktop Banter. This is episode 32, I believe. Don't quote me on it because they're getting so high there, I'm losing track. We have a great guest today. This guy and I met last MPE face-to-face a little bit. And since then, he's been kicking my ass social media-wise on every platform, every which way. Braden Hamilton. Braden, you want to introduce yourself? Tell us about your business, where you're located at.
Yeah, man. First of all, I just wanted to say I'm honored. Thank you very much, Marvin. Big fan all the way around on all of the social media. But yeah, my name is Braden Hamilton. I've got a company called ORCA Asphalt Maintenance. We're located in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. And yeah, man, just honored to be here.
Dude, so Kelowna is on you said the east side of Canada, correct? Alberta,
West side.
Yeah, west side.
Yeah. So we're on the west side. We're above Washington State.
Yep.
We're about 3.5 hours from Vancouver.
Okay.
Directly east of Vancouver, right over a whole mountain pass, and then we're in this little haven.
Yeah. I've seen some pictures. I'm gonna jump back and forth between a bunch of topics, but dude, that location, especially on TikTok, I notice you take it in a little bit more than everywhere else.
Yeah.
And I know, like, people think that we're dancing on TikTok, and not so much. We're not dancing. It really does.
Should be dancing more.
It is. We should be dancing more, but really, it's taken in and highlighting some of the stuff that we do work-wise. And I notice you guys do the same thing. And what's kind of nice is you're able to use those clips on other social media platforms too from there. And I know you do that, and I do that too. But tell us about that location, because I see seal coating and maintenance pictures and paving pictures from all over the world. That place is beautiful, man. Every time I see something, there's mountain ranges in the back, beautiful valleys, sunny days. Tell us about that area.
Yeah, well, you hit the nail on the head, man. It is one of the most beautiful places, in my humble opinion. We feel lucky and blessed to live here, man. It's we're located on a massive lake. It's called the Okanagan Lake, and we're in a valley with mountains all around us. And the way it all works out is we have some of the best weather in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
There's a desert directly south of us. I believe it's the only or one of the only deserts in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So we've got, there's fruit growing here. There's vineyards, wineries like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a longer season here than most of Canada as well.
Oh.
We've got moderate rain. Our winter's very mild, but we also, because of our proximity to the mountains, we have amazing snowboarding close, skiing. It's just an outdoorsman's paradise. It's just, there's just so much to do here, and working here is amazing.
Yes.
So.
That leads me to the next question. How do you handle logistics as far as materials and things like that?
Yeah, that, beginning the company, like when we started the company, that was the biggest issue. Getting sealer here, massive issue. Luckily, we've got great connections now with, we get it from Cascade Asphalt in Seattle. So we get a bulk tank shipped up. A tanker shipped up, and then they load our bulk tank.
Okay.
But in the past, it's just been kind of a wild west, man. Just figuring it out, right?
Yeah. The logistics of getting things there, it's hard. I think about that with us. Besides a bulk tank, we're probably from where our stuff's manufactured at. It's a good 2 hours, if not more, away.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to a depot. It's about an hour away.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's shipped to contractors all over and things. And we're securing a bulk tank here this year. I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah, dude, it's been
nice, man.
It's been forever for us. I dropped the ball a shit ton before we got to this point. But the guys are like, "Can we stop running to get sealer?" It's like,
yeah.
Yes, we
can.
Well,
I'll tell you what. Like, it wasn't an option for us to go get sealer.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
It's for us to go and pick up sealer. We've got to get enough that it's worth it. So, our first year, that's basically what we did. We'd ship it to the border, go pick it up, and it's just a nightmare. And then like the next year we did the same thing. And this year it was like, no, like the only way to really make this happen, you know, to make it make sense that sealing isn't a service that we offer, is to get a bulk tank.
Yeah.
So luckily, you know, Alex at Black and Yellow hooked us up. Yeah, real good friend. And yeah, we've got this amazing bulk tank now. And it's just, it was literally, I mean, that was a game changer.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because it doesn't seem like it, and people probably don't think that, the people that are really close to their suppliers, but it's a huge anchor, dude. Like, you're trying really hard to advance, but that thing's an anchor on you. Once, I have a feeling, once that's off you, that allows you to focus and get your attention to go forward.
It's I mean, your attention isn't to getting the material anymore. It's like, you know, that was a massive weight on me. Yeah. Like, all right, how much do we have? Like, there was a big issue. Like, okay, you know, we've only got 500 gallons left. Yeah. What are we going to do with this? How are we going to, you know, and I mean, we still face that issue now with the bulk tank, you know, just navigating the logistics of, all right, how much more do we have left? The end of the season's coming. We think, you know, in a couple of weeks, how are we going to, you know, but even, I mean, we don't have a place where we can buy any equipment. Like nothing even close. Like our crack filler comes out of Vancouver, which is, you know, 3.5 hours away. I mean, if we wanted asphalt lutes, if we wanted squeegees, if we want anything, everything gets shipped in, which is, it's tough, but you know what? It gives us an advantage over our competitors because I do the research like crazy, find the best stuff, and then we're using the best product and the best supplies to offer the best, you know, the best end product.
That's what I was going to ask you was how big of an advantage it is, because if it's that difficult for you, obviously your competitors are having a difficult time too. How bad how stiff is the competition right there?
You know, like there are a few other seal coat providers, but we're the only one that uses emulsion.
Okay.
The only people up here that use emulsion. Okay. Oil-based sealer is a massive thing. And I don't want to offend anyone, but we would never, if we didn't use what we use, we wouldn't offer seal coating.
Yeah.
That's how much I stand behind it. And I mean, as you do as well, you know, you try products, you figure it out, and then it's like, all right, what's our ratios like? What are we using for additives? And it's just a constant thing to get your product and ultimately your end product the very best, right?
Well, speaking of those bulk tanks and sealer and everything else, you recently posted a picture, and I have a pretty, I have a darker complexion, but in that photo, you outdid me completely. You were completely covered in sealer from head to toe, and then I seen a post of you the next day, and it was still in your eyelashes and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, you look like you were getting ready to be the lead singer for an 80s rock band, bro. It was still like right around here. The eyeliner was in. You're rock and roll. What was going on there? I mean, you have a beautiful white shirt on right now. You know, so it's a huge contract or a huge contrast. But as a contractor and still an owner, like you and I, we're still out there doing the labor too as well.
Definitely.
It's not easy to talk one of your dudes to get into the tank, so you had to get in there. But was that a service tank, bulk tank, or was that all the tanks? Did you just keep it going once you got dirty, or what?
Yeah, it was bulk tank, and then our seal tank as well. But the bulk tank was the major project. And you know, I got to give a massive shout out to my guys, because my guys will jump right in there with me, and they did.
Yeah.
However, I didn't want them to get covered completely.
Right.
The guys were covered, but I took it to another level. So what you saw there, that was as a result of, so what happened right at the end of our season is when the temperature dropped, our sealer kind of started to settle, and it was getting thicker in the bulk tank, as you know. And actually one of the sprockets on the agitation arm busted.
Yeah.
So with 1 week left in the season, we couldn't mix our stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So we're just pumping it out, just trying to get it out before, you know, everything settled. But we were left with a couple 100 gallons in there that had settled. So we actually got in there. We had to use drill mixers, mix it up so that we could pump it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we pumped as much as we could out, and then we had to bucket the rest out. And then, so, you know, the guys and me it was just a nightmare, but it was fun.
Yeah. That's kind of like those moments when like everyone kind of realizes what you're going to have to do, but no
Yeah.
one really wants to do it.
Yeah.
But everyone kind of knows, and like they don't, like no one moves until the leader moves, and they're like,
Right.
we're just going to
Yeah.
do it. And I think some of those times you just got to make the best of it. We had in our old service unit, it was 500-gallon tank. We
Okay.
had paddles on it, but the
Yeah.
paddles wouldn't let it sweep. It was a hand unit, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
paddles are so stiff they wouldn't let it sweep. So we took the paddles off, but where it left that gap, it plugged with some of the stuff, the backside of that bottom hole,
Yeah.
and we couldn't get past the valve
Like,
with what was there. I had to get in, dude, and like I was up to my waist with.
you put your waders on?
No, dude, I just did swimming trunks, no shirt, no nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to get a shovel to get the piece out of there, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was wedged in that hole. And I turned and looked at my dude, and I'm like, "You're gonna have to get the water hose out, bro." And I just went I went down my hands, everything, dude.
You know.
Picked it up, dude. And it was just like my dude was looking at me, just laughing, and he was like, "Dude, I can't believe you did that." I'm like, "Dude, you have to do that stuff. There's no points where you just have to, you know." So
if you're not going to do it, who's going to do it, right? Like, and the way that I feel is like, if as the leader, you have to do those things, and you have to earn trust with your guys by doing those things, by doing the worst, and be like, hey, you know, I'm right here with you guys. Like, this is our thing.
We got
right? Yeah. And so, yeah, man, I when I was in there at the end, you know, and pressure washing it all and getting it all, like putting the final touches on it, I had, you know, we had the full body suits, goggles, everything.
Yeah, I see you at the goggles.
Yeah, but dude, I'm pressure washing and it's just blasting back. I couldn't see a thing, so I'm like, you know what?
Screw it.
Here we go. Took the goggles off. And, you know, trying to be like careful at the beginning, and then you just get nailed. And then finally I was like, all right, nope, doesn't matter anymore. Here we go. Just
I'm gonna cut that picture and use it as a promo for the podcast, dude. And then I guarantee you we're gonna get listeners just off that picture. So what is your season like as far as length goes and duration goes? Being as you're in Canada, I know you said you're in one of the longer seasons probably in Canada. But when do you start? When do you finish usually? You know?
Yeah, so obviously it's variant, you know, season to season, like you and everyone. But essentially we can start striping and crack sealing at the beginning of March-ish, you know, March-ish. Really start going in April. And then we start sealing towards the end of May. And then quartz as well, with quartz surfacing. And then we'll go seal coating until the end of September, beginning of October, and then we're actually still crack sealing and striping until the snow sticks. Yeah. So usually that'll be the end of November, beginning of December. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about quartz. I didn't know you did this quartz. So
yeah, we started this year.
Yeah. And did you like it? Was the transition easy, or was it hard? Was it a big learning curve? I've heard both ways. I've heard some people say it was breezy for us, and then some people say, well, there was a different, and I know that varies as well, because some courts are very strict about how they want things done, and then some are like, just make it playable.
Okay, so first of all, like everything, man, I had amazing people that I reached out to. Adam, AG Sports Systems.
Dude, unbelievable. Legend. That dude's legend.
Absolute legend. Sport master.
When I go to do it,
amazing.
When I go to do it, I'm going through him, dude, because he's just a
dude. He's an absolute weapon. Like, just good dude. So I reached out to him, probably to an annoying level on his end. But you know, the branching out to do quartz was kind of a natural extension, honestly. I'm a perfectionist by nature. You know, psycho when it comes to, you know, just everything's got to be perfect on my end. You know, obviously
it shows.
Well, I guess I don't know how to say it, but like we like the work to be done right. And so when we were branching into quartz, it kind of has to be that way, right? So we treat everything like it's a court anyway. Driveway, parking lot, when we're doing lines, everything, right? And so when we moved to quartz, it was just kind of a natural extension. You're squeegeeing just like we do driveways. And then, it was just, there's a lot of technicalities, obviously, like, you know, but we did a ton of research, went through Adam, Sportmaster, and then watched every video possible on YouTube. And yeah, it was just, it's amazing. And now we're booking into next year. We've actually got an amazing project that we just got the okay on, kind of the premier high-rise building in our city. They're having a court on the 10th floor outdoor, and we just got the contract for that. So that's going to be amazing.
I can't wait to see the footage of
yeah,
that.
You'll appreciate the views, man.
So did you have a client that just asked, hey, can you do a sport court? Or did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Or if you were like, hey, I want to take this on, I'm going to start marketing it. Or if you had a client that was like, hey, can you?
It worked perfect. So the way that I had been wanting to do courts, this was kind of the year Adam and I were talking last year. He's like, dude, you got to get into courts. You got to get into courts. You'll love it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'd really love to, but it's probably not the time, because I didn't want to bite off much more than we could chew. Right. And I'm just like, we're still dialing in our systems with our other services. So I didn't want to just, all right, here we go, fly into another thing. Mm-hmm. So this year, I was like, okay, this might be the year, but we weren't pushing for it. And had a customer call, asked if we could do it. And I said, yeah, we can. And so it worked perfectly that we didn't have to market towards it. And I was very upfront with them. I said, this is the first court that we're doing. However, go look at all of our other work, go on our website, you can tell that what our work ethic is and the products that we put out. And I was just really transparent, and they were ecstatic with the way it ended up. They're huge tennis enthusiasts, and it was a pickleball court, and they said it was one of the nicest courts they've ever seen. So I mean, I was stoked.
Isn't that something to have that at an advantage, those connections with, like, not just Adam, but in general, like if I want it, if I want to do a sports surface, I know to ask you now because of this knowledge of just a conversation, and then talk to Adam how to do it, and then we can talk about pricing, and we're not in each other's area, so it allows you to have such a distinct advantage and gets you the confidence. Like some of this stuff, like I did the podcast with Mike Nawa about sweeping. Like somebody asked me now, hey, could you handle sweeping this area or whatever? The confidence to say, yeah, I think I probably could. Even though I'd never done it before, the knowledge and knowing that I know people that know how to do it and can help me get there gives you the confidence to be like, yeah, we can take that on. Yeah, we can do that.
Totally.
Dude, it's such a huge advantage.
It's insane, man.
And I mean, that kind of leads to the next topic about just social interaction and social advice. As I was stating earlier, in my opinion, everyone kind of has their own flavor when it comes to social media. It kind of catches their vibe. I only have a little bit to talk to people, so I get straight to the point and make sure we get to the meat of whatever the conversation is. And my posts are like that as well. I do try to do some fun ones and show highlights of what we're doing, but really I like to get to the point too. I noticed that your guys' quality of work also shows through that crispiness, shows through not only in your brand, the ORCA brand, the machines, the decals on everything, and your social media does that as well. What is some advice for guys that are thinking about using it and trying to use it? Because my biggest advice when I first started doing all this and was like using social media and doing YouTube before anyone did it and whatever was, hey, turn the camera around, make it personal, and then people will know you. And that was like my first big advice. But I noticed that you guys do a far better job branding your social media with ORCA as well. Is that on purpose, or do you think that's just by natural that you guys are like that?
Okay, well, I think I guess where do I start? I think that what you said, turn the camera around and make it personal. That was something that was, and you actually commented to me. I don't know if you remember. You're like, love the way that you're turning the camera around. This year was a year that I was like, Kate, I'm going to make it more personal. And I think that personal element came with more confidence in the business.
Sure.
Right. I wish that I would have turned it around a little earlier, and I'm still very hesitant to do it.
I say that, dude. I say that too.
Right. I think that it's very natural for people to not want to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And my advice is to just do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Be as open and transparent as possible. Like I think that this year we tried to show more of like what actually happens on the jobs, right? Mm-hmm. We're having a good time. We're doing our absolute best work, but we're having a good time. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
We have a really good time. We've got a great chemistry, great relationships. We have fun with our customers, and it's just an all around good experience. Like, and we want that to show through our social media. Now that shows more on our stories, like day to day, you know, what we're doing. And then, posts, I need to get better. Like, I mean, I used to post more, but you know how it is. It's just, you get busy during the season.
I think, I think there's a transition point. I think, you know, there's some guys, you know, they'll give me advice or they'll ask for advice when it comes to social media. And I always, like you, I knew, hey, you got to turn the camera around, man. It's really going to make leaps and bounds for you social media wise. There's some guys I know that are like a-holes, and it's like, don't turn the camera around. Like, you know, make sure you highlight your work. Make sure you highlight how good it is. Make sure you highlight that you're in a timely manner. These are your strong points, because your personality, you know, and most guys know, like, I'll just ask them if they're an a-hole. I'm like, are you an a-hole or not? And like, when I turn the camera around, you're getting me right now as you would at any other time. That's just, this is my personality. But there is a point where I believe businesses grow where you don't have to turn the camera around anymore. You know, to be more professional, more commercial, on purpose, you can make posts and guide the direction of your business social media wise and your brand, your appearance as time goes on. But if you're starting a business out, you're a nice guy and you want people to get to know you and you want to be transparent like you are, that really helped us out a ton. Turn the camera around, show people that you're getting the material, filling the tank up to the top. There's no room to add anything, man. And we're leaving from here to the job. This is how we apply it, whatever. And when I did that the first couple of years, dude, that's when things blew up for us. But you know, I don't think I do as good a job as your guys' posts to your story, to your TikTok, because it just seems everything's black and white. Everything's really clear. You have sweet EDM music going to most of it. Most of the time. So it's just one of those things, I think, that naturally it just, your social media vibe follows ORCA's vibe really good, which is personal. And it lets customers know that you're invested, I think, you know.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think that what I discovered early on when I started the business is that marketing is just leverage. Yeah. And when you start out, inevitably, like we started with nothing, you know, like we started this just with like a striper, a Graco 3400, you know, and we just finished our third year. And so we've just been growing. But at the beginning, you use what you have. And I could tell you 10,000 ways that you could take a picture of one striping parking lot line. Yeah. It's all about leverage and just showing where you're good and what you have, because everyone has something to show. And so for us, like, it was just like, all right, I'm going to take a picture of this curb because it looks sexy. And, you know, and then there's a line, and then it's like, all right, okay, now you got a new piece of equipment. Let's showcase that. And then it's, you know, just showcase all the way up, and then you've got this good stuff to show. And I think that really has helped us a lot, you know, in just making it personal, but also showing, you know, what we actually do and how the quality that we do. I don't know.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, because you see some of your posts will have a driveway. Like the other day, it was a beautiful setting. Beautiful mountains around. The sun was shining through kind of the glazy, grayish clouds. But then you had the Rhino Works angled parking like they were two Lamborghinis with the doors up, bro. You know, facing forward. And then ORCA, you know, tagged right on the front of them, just super clean. You know, I think showing that, expressing that, you can easily boost a post to get coverage, to get on people's phones, showing that you have this equipment that they've probably never seen before. Like around here, when you pull out the hand cart, the Rhino Works, the Elite, like we have,
we've got one as well.
People don't see that. You know, they're like, oh, they got the equipment to do it. Now, sometimes that's the tool for the job, and then sometimes it's like, well, it's not the tool for this job right here. But the main thing is you're prepped and equipped to handle whatever efficiently and better. How do you like your Rhino Works, by the way?
Love them, man. Yeah, those are staples for us. Like the Rhino Works brand in general. I mean, it's just been, first of all, like when we started our very first crack fill unit, I actually bought a used one. It's an old Simline push unit, And I was like, no, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
You had a Simline MA10?
yeah, it was. I should take a picture of it and show
Yeah,
you.
dude, send me that. I
Yeah,
don't think I've ever seen one.
this is
Maybe I
OG.
have, but maybe I have, and I just didn't know
It was a tank, man, and it was like it just wasn't good. So, anyways, like I quickly realized that, and I was like, okay, this just isn't doing the quality that I'd like to deliver, right?
Yeah.
So I saw I did all the research, and I'm like, man, those Rhino works, they look good, man. They got that matte black, it's like it just is a little bit different, right? And I'm like, all right, that's the one. So we got one, and so through that we actually filmed Asphalt Kingdom. Judd was actually having a contest.
Oh, okay.
And it was like how to what was it? How to fill cracks or something.
Sure.
And so it was a video contest. And so we had just got this new RY10. So I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll use this, set up the drone cameras all the way around. And then we actually got an RY30. We won the contest, got an RY30 through that. Cool. And man, it's just like, I mean, the brand in general, they're bulletproof. They're great. And then if there's any issues, call Lee, call the guys there, and they're amazing.
Yeah, we got the 31st, and it had the old burners, and I had trouble with the jets right away. And I was telling Lee, I'm like, dude, it's just half of it was the rubber that we were using.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just having trouble melting down. But I was telling Lee, I'm like, dude, it's not getting hot enough. Within like 2 or 3 days, I had all new jets in there, and that thing was like torching. Right. Yeah, dude. I was
like, fast too.
Dude, super fast.
Yeah.
But once we had that thing, we went from stationary 10s to that 30. Dude, it was game change for us. You could heat that up in there, put it into the other units.
Boom. Fly.
Whatever. And then
with a 30, we keep 3 RY10s going nonstop. Like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Is that your experience as well?
Yeah. So we'll do the Rye 30. We still do a lot of squeegee and pour pot stuff, just these farm lanes and things. Yeah. And just to have that material available, it's almost enough to do these farm lanes and driveways in one heat. So that's why I keep the 30 up there, because we do have the 10s. You could put one in the 10 and start, and then have the 30 and just fill in as you go. But it's nice to have that. It's similar. It's a similar feeling to me as having like a Craftco 100 or whatever behind you with a wand. There's just unlimited material, enough to get the job done. One heat, you're good to go. And we've had good results with it, as far as, like you said, if there's any issues, I think we got new burners this year. They sent us new burners for our old 30.
The new jet one.
Dude, I think our Rye 30 was close to like the prototype, because there's still some holes where they had some stuff and then moved it around. Yeah, and Lee was like, I'm going to, we'll get you one. And we've been using it now religiously for probably, I think, 3 years or so. And I don't see it going anywhere. We just, it's nice that there's a lot of parts of those machines, but we've always got the parts for it and stuff like that. If we need anything. And you find some stuff where, you can hack it a little bit here and there and make stuff work. But the bones and skeletons of those machines are they're for businesses your size and my size. Yeah. They're game changers, necessities.
The value that you get for the price point is just like, it's unbelievable.
Efficiency is a huge thing, and they keep you efficient. But, I think that obviously there's an upgrade from those machines as well. But to fill that gap to get you there, it's well worth the investment. I mean, now you get to the point where your business is your size and mine's my size. A couple G's here or there to make you more efficient, so that you can do one decent job pays for the machine. So, I mean, whatever. Yeah. I think that's kind of one of the things when it comes to that is goals. Hey, it's a stair step goal. If you set it too high, you're gonna sell yourself short. If you get the stair step the way up, that's kind of with our Rhino works and some of our Seal Right equipment and things like that. It's just stepping this ladder up. Now we're to a bulk tank finally, so I get to buy that sucker outright. I can put whatever I want in there. Yeah. And if I decide I want to put Seal Master in there, I'll put that in. If I decide I want something else, I'll put that in there. Whatever, so that was my big thing. Yeah, that was my big thing this year. So, we got our shop. We had a lot, kind of like similar to you, where you park all your stuff. Yeah. We had a lot. I had a little office, and now we bought a bigger warehouse. We have another lot just a couple blocks down. Keep all of our stuff. the warehouse, the office, the bulk tank, everything's going there, dude. I'm so hyped for next year. It's like,
Yo, and what's cool about you is like it on YouTube, it's like you can watch your journey, right? Like,
oh, dude, I hate going back and looking at those videos, dude.
no, man, but it's amazing because it gives people who are starting, it's like, yo, not everyone has a massive surplus of money to start with. You know what? You like, no one's taking on capital, and like, so it's like a lot of us are just starting with what we have, and so it's like, you know,
it's scary to go to the bank, dude. It's scary. It's scary to go to the bank and say, "Hey, I need $100K," you know, when you don't have any money, and it's like, well, how can I get into this and just start feeding the business with some capital?
Right.
And that's what we've done. And dude, I'm excited. You know, we're a debt-free company. We're putting up big numbers. It took a little bit longer than some of my competitors around me did take on that debt, and now those guys don't have crap. And it's like, yeah, we're in an area where you can't take on a huge amount of debt. There's not that much work for you to do something like that. And they just didn't see it. I seen it the other way, and I said, well, we'll climb this ladder a little bit. Want a little bit out,
little by little, work, get the projects, buy the piece of equipment.
And then educate.
Everyone has their different.
MP did a great job educating us. That's half the reason. I always say this, and I chirp this about whatever, but that's why I wanted to spark the community, was because I didn't know what the hell I was going to do to climb this ladder. But I knew there were people out there that did, and I just wanted to be their friend so that I could get some mentorship in one way or another. And it's weird now because some of these mentors that are in our community they've been around forever. And then there's some guys, young bucks like Cameron Hogate, who I'm going to be speaking with. He worked circles around me doing Facebook ads. And I thought, you know, for a while I was like, dude, I'm the best at Facebook ads. And I watched this thing, dude. He works circles around me. He's really good because he cares about the juice that's in the middle. You know, similarly, you know, if you and I are paying $50 for a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad, it doesn't matter if I put in this much content or I put in that much content, it's still $50. So, you know, Cameron does a good job at filling the inner content enough that it makes you really want to get involved, pay attention to the ad, and it sticks in people's brains. Yes, it sticks in people's brains, and he's way better than I am at it. And having this community that we've built to where you would come up to me at MPE like you did, and you're like, dude, I love your videos, you know, whatever.
Yeah, man.
And then
I still remember where we were.
Yeah, and then me, you, Dom Manzo, you know, we're all just hanging out in this little spot right here. And just seeing the cleanliness and the importance of the brand and the imaging for our smaller companies let me know that I was doing something right, because it wasn't easy for small companies like your company, my company, Dom's company, anybody's, to have a clean image and market themselves good. You usually had to be a successful big company and have marketing dollars to make that image go there. But you don't have to do that anymore, which is nice. But and then you get to see success, you know, like your success and my success. You get to be invested in that a little bit with each other, and then you see people succeed a little bit, give themselves a little breathing room, and believe, we're actually catching stride here. We're going to get going. And I know that that's a fact with you because you just come back from vacation, right?
Yeah, right.
Where'd you go on vacation?
We went to Vancouver Island, and luckily, I mean, we had it timed. So so Vancouver Island is, you know, Vancouver is straight west of us. Well, you take a ferry about an hour and a half, and then you're Vancouver Island. So Victoria is the capital of British Columbia. It's out there, and it's just gorgeous. So that's like one of the few places in Canada you can surf. It's ocean, orcas, whales, you know, like it's just massive ocean culture. It's insane, man. It's magic. And so luckily, we had planned this trip a while ago, and assuming that the season was going to be ending. Well, it hasn't ended yet. However, it was raining the entire time we were gone and snowing. So luckily, you know, we weren't getting behind. But anyway, I mean, those types of things, it's like you work hard, and, you know, vacation feels good. Yeah. Right? Like,
you've earned it.
We've earned this, and it just feels amazing, man.
I'm super hype. Hopefully one of my next guests is going to tell us about vacations and getting away across the world and stuff. So guys like us who work in the summer, I took my first summer vacation this year in 16 years with the kids. And
I saw that, man. I was following you.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, to think that it's possible. Luckily my team,
Yeah.
My guys have, yes, they give me a little bit of relief to be able to go out. I can set up the work, go out west, come back, and then we've caught stride still. But yeah, you've earned it, and I felt like that this time, like we've earned it, because otherwise I got to go in the winter and get away and do stuff like that. What do you do for fun, Braden? What's your? I know you said, surfing, skiing, all that stuff's around here. What do you do? Like, what's your thing for fun?
Man, well, I've got 2 young kids. I've got a 3-year-old and 1-year-old, and I've got an amazing wife. So we spend a lot of time together. We spend a lot of time outside, man. Lake, that's a huge thing. Like wakeboarding, wake surfing, skiing. I've got the kids. They start when they're babies. Snowboarding, kids start when they're real young. And yeah, we're just outside. We hike a lot. This area is, we're full of hiking trails. We're
gorgeous out there, dude. I can't say it enough.
It's
it's gorgeous out there. What about that guitar behind you, dude? Do you play guitar?
I strum a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm not to your level, but I do. Yeah.
Wow, I was wondering about that when I seen that back there. Yeah.
I enjoy music, man. When you're saying like the EDM stuff on the on the TikTok and stuff, I think that's what's really cool about what we have in our industry is typically people look at the asphalt industry with like, even when I tell people, like when I'm going to NPE, they're like, you're going to an asphalt conference? Like what are you talking about? Like that's, and so I think what's cool is like, looking onto the asphalt industry, you may not think that it's this attractive, from an onlooker, this attractive kind of intriguing industry. Typically it hasn't been. And when I came in, I was like, all right, I see these guys doing these things, and I just wanted to continue doing that, make it sexy, put cool music to it, film it properly, and just kind of make it like, I'm into like music and surf culture, skateboard culture, and like where there's like a little more like an indie scene and like cool looking things and videography, and it's like, all right, why don't we bring that to asphalt?
Yeah. That's what I do. I mean, crap, dude. I mean, you see me all the time. Hat's always backwards.
Man.
Change clothes, whatever, and making.
Hey, mine's backward half the time.
Dude, I think you were right. The industry had this lens on it that hadn't changed forever, and the only way to change it was to kind of make the inside of it fun, the conferencing, getting everybody together. And I love everything about MPE. I really do. I understand the importance of everything, whether it's the floor, the classes, the roundtables, the parties, whatever. But absolutely, the highlights are getting to see you guys, getting to see my friends, making those connections, talking, and I think it's very
most
important.
popular guy on the floor, Marvin, man.
That's because I'm everywhere all at once. I never stop.
Yeah, dude.
Otherwise, that wouldn't be that popular very much. You'd have to find me. But usually I'm roaming around there pretty good. And this year I'm hoping to bring the team because I'm so tired of carrying my cameras and everything around, setting everything up.
Well, I hope I'll be there, but it's not looking like with the
lockdown. I know. I keep an update, and they keep telling me that I need to get my seminar finalized and done. There's a deadline coming. I keep hearing that. So that gives me hope.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work with international travel for us, but you know what? I hope that if we can't be there physically, I hope that maybe they provide a digital something where I can at least tune into you and Cameron.
Maybe. I was talking to Cameron. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do digital. I think we lose all that touch and that flavor, but
it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. And, it allows us to keep hope up and stay in connection and stuff like that. What's next for ORCA? That's my last question for you, is what's next for ORCA? What do you see as far as where you go from here size wise? Like what are your next few goals, I guess, is my big thing.
Well, there's my shoot, dude. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's natural. That's what happens here. That's what happens.
I've been trying, man. I've been trying. No ums. Right. There it is again. Yeah. Our goal is growth, obviously, but controlled growth. Mm-hmm. We don't want to grow too fast where we lose that personal touch and our quality. Huge thing with what we do is we just want our quality to be darn near perfect. Sure. Our guys are right along, they're there, they do perfect work, and we just strive to do the best. So inevitably when you grow, obviously you lose a little bit of that, which we're fine with, but we want to keep it as good as possible. So we're going to continue to grow. We're going to bring more guys on, and potentially bring in an office manager next year, and continue to just lean on other people who've gone through it and see where we should grow, and, you know, get the advice there. We're going to be expanding more into quartz, big time, more commercial seal coating. And yeah, just growth all the way around. We've got some exciting things coming. And the journey is just so fun, man.
Yeah. It's cool to have, peers, you know, that you can experience camaraderie with and kind of go through it at the same time, you know. If early on felt like, you know, I took quite a lashing for what I was doing inside the industry, as far as something that no one had ever done, trying to create something that a lot of people didn't want to happen, because these secrets were just secrets for years and years about who does whatever. But you can see it's all good. Like, there's no bad comes from it, you know, and actually it's helping our industry, because doing it the right way is what everyone wants to do that cares about the industry. And the best way to do that is to show how to do it the right way. And with social media, we're all showing it the right way, in the community right way. Dude, I really appreciate you being on the podcast, dude. I really hope we get to see each other at MPE this year.
I hope so too, man. I really hope so.
If not, when international travel gets going again, and I'll get my passport going, and I'll come up and see you and see how you do it up there. I'll probably just watch and take in the scenery, but you know,
Marvin will be on the boat with the binoculars.
Yeah, I'll take a picture or two. You never know. Well, I'll bring my Landboard, dude, and just go down those hills that you're in.
There you go, man. Hey, we got a lot of hills, man.
Cool, man. Well, Braden, I really appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. I wish the best for you guys there at ORCA. Keep up the good work, and please keep the posts coming. It's a highlight of my feed, is seeing you guys in the story and stuff once in a while, and hearing the music. Start playing your own music for your clips.
Hey, you know what? Early on, I actually did a lot of the songs, the beats that I had. I actually made those.
Did you?
Early videos, yeah.
What's funny?
You can actually hear my
do that as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the YouTube ones, they kept getting me for copyright infringement. Yeah. So I learned how to, with GarageBand and the other ones, to make my own beats, record my own stuff. So some of those early ones, like if you go to the credits, you'll see the music's by me or one of my friends here in town. Cool, and you just have to do what you have to do. It's one of those things, like cleaning out your own tank and getting your face black and your whole body black, your inside of your ears.
Do what you got to do, man.
Do what you got to do to get it.
I mean, I know we're trying to end this, but honestly, the most intriguing thing to me about business and being your own boss, having your own company, is exactly that. It's this opportunity that you get to learn whatever you want. You could outsource things, or like I had to do, and many others at the beginning, when you don't have the dollars to do it, you learn it. Yeah. So whether I didn't know how to edit a video prior to starting a business. I didn't know how to run Adobe Illustrator. The first thing that I ever made on Adobe Illustrator was our logo.
Sure.
It's here, right there. Hey. And then I got deep into logo making and Fibonacci ratio, the 1.618, like the most beautiful golden ratio. And I think that's honestly, when like making the music, like you can hear my little daughter, she was 1 at the time, ORCA. She's saying ORCA in the beat. And I just think it's the coolest thing ever, man. I just think, I think that we're lucky, a privileged position to be able to do that and to be able to learn and grow. And I think it's just an incredible opportunity to be in.
I agree with you. I think being able to document our journeys through our social media is one of the biggest gifts ever. It's similar to me as in people were pioneering our countries and going from one side to the other. They kept a journal and people got to read that journal. And some of those journals were very interesting. I believe that's what our social media is too. So those videos where you see me, like my most popular video was me patching a hole very shittily and then estimating the rest of the driveway for a seal coat. And you can just see how you can see how awkward I am in this video. I knew I had to do it. I knew I had to turn the camera around, and I knew to start this thing I wanted to do, I had to do it. Now, dude, me looking back, you know, I would tell myself, dude, get some confidence, get yourself a different set of glasses, you know, wear a business shirt, dude, get out of the t-shirt. But you know what? I like to see it. People like to see that too. They see my old trucks from back in the day, starting, you know, starting out, 300-gallon tank on a 3/4 ton truck, and we did it by hand. And I think it's.
But you know what? Looking back, I hope, like, you look back and you cringe. I hope that I always look back and cringe, because that means that you're growing at an exponential rate.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So it's like, if I'm confident in who I am today, well, I mean, confident but not content, right?
Sure.
Like, I'm like, all right, I'm stoked with where we are, but I want to grow like crazy.
Sure.
I hope that when I get there, I look back and I'm like, good for you for trying, but man, dude, like,
I know.
you had things to change, man.
I know.
But that's a great thing. Like, you look back and you're like, yo, I can't believe I was wearing those glasses. I can't believe I was fixing things that way. But that's all part of the journey. And look where you are now. Look where, like, it's, everyone has to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's doing it that is the hard part. Just getting out and doing and trying and making mistakes, and then boom.
But it's passion. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what fuels you, is passion. Because doing what I had to do back then, if I had to do that now, man, I would be complaining in the worst way. And back then I didn't complain at all. It just had to be done. And I knew to get where we wanted to go, we had to do it. And I think looking back at those times, we're going to cringe or do whatever. But I look back at those times and think, man, if me back then would have had just $5,000, I would have been able to rest a lot easier. And now I think, dude, if all I had was $5,000 now, I would be losing my mind, when it comes to business. So I think that kind of lets you know your business is growing and you're stepping in the right direction. I think businesses, what I've seen, because of the networking in the community and these the resources of these guys, the veterans or our connections that have been doing it a while, is we don't make as many mistakes as some of these companies did right away. The trial and error section is really slim. Most of the time, if there's a trial and error, that's because somebody was being stubborn and thought that they knew how to do it versus what somebody told them the way to do it.
Right.
And then they got to go back and do it the way it was supposed to be done.
Right.
But I think that allows us to not make as many mistakes as some of these companies that tried and failed and tried and failed. And, you're part of that now, dude. So ORCA's part of that. A lot of our friends are part of that. And I hope that everything keeps going the way it's going. We keep growing and creating a community that when we're old and gray and we're going to look back and be like, dude, that was one hell of a ride, wasn't it?
That's right,
We're all over the world. We all know each other. And it's one hell of a ride. So thank you very much, Braden, for being part of it. Thanks for being on the podcast. I'll have you back on, dude. We'll talk about different stuff next year after these sport courts and stuff, and especially the specific job. I definitely want to talk about that. So we'll be glad to have you back. Blessings, you and the family and the team.
Hey,
one last, do you have anything you want to say before we close this?
I just want to commend you and thank you for what you're doing for the industry, man. It's just, you're unprecedented, and it's amazing, man. It's just really cool to be a part of this. The fact that there's a podcast talking about asphalt maintenance is really cool. And I just wanted to thank you for bringing me in and allowing me to share my journey and share my story and help any way I can for anyone else. So thank you, man. Thank you.
No worries, dude. Get me one of those ORCA hats, and I'll
consider it done.
We'll be all set. All right, everybody. That's it. ORCA Asphalt Maintenance. Braden, thank you very much for being on here. Once again, we want you to seal it, pave it, stripe it, and kill it. Peace.
Boom.
That's it, man. We're all set.